Hey, what's up, people? Hello, everyone. Good morning. I am restarting my daily vlogs. It is not easy for me to start this morning because maybe it's because I haven't been doing this for a while, but I found something compelling. I found something compelling to restart this whole thing, and in fact, the name of the vlogs are probably going to be different from now onwards. It's because I've just entered into a new phase, a new phase of my personal growth and personal development. So some of you have been texting me. Some of you actually texted me and contacted and asking, why, Felix? Like, why have you not been doing your daily Facebook lives? Why have you not been doing this? And I found that curious. So I asked, actually, like, in the first place, when I was doing the vlogs, you guys weren't watching that much anyway. Like, I only see like a couple of you online at a time, and mostly I do it not for anybody but myself. Yes, pudding. Give me a second. Pudding wants to be in the camera. Yes, Pudding? Do you want to be in the camera? Okay, chill there. So I've been getting texts, and I was very curious because why would anybody want to watch me talk about all my baggage and wash my dirty laundries in public? But many of you kept giving me feedback that it's inspiring for some reason, especially the episode that I did where I was getting coached by the relationship coaches. I was literally just telling about all of my stuff. You want up or you want down? Hmm? Pudding? You want up or you want down? Want up or you want down? What do you want? What do you want? Okay, you see that when she slow blinks, when she blinks slowly, that's a cat's way of saying I love you. What do you want? Okay, I'm gonna hold her like this while I talk. Yeah. Okay. So and the reason why I stopped the daily vlogs in the first place was because I felt at some point it starts to feel as though I'm trying too hard. I do not know if any of you have ever experienced that before. Trying too hard, trying to come up with content, trying to come up with things to say, and I wasn't particularly feeling it. Pudding, what do you want? I'm trying to stream over here, Pudding. What do you want? Hey, Pudding just went into lockup. When I get confused with what she wants, I do not know. Yeah. So poor cat. So where was I? God, that's the problem having of living together with a cat, because it's like you're streaming and all of a sudden she meows in her high pitched voice and you just completely forget about what you want to say. Um, I'm gonna say from whatever comes to mind first lah. So I've been very curious, like why is it that you guys, some of you are interested to hear me saying all those things, and here I was trying to, there I was trying to come up with things to say, trying to come up with topics to talk about, and the glaring feedback, the obvious feedback that many of you guys kept telling me is that actually you just want to hear my story, you want to hear me talk about myself, and I'm not the kind of person, you see. I'm never the kind of person who loves being authoritative. I don't like to be the center of attention, actually. Um, yeah, I'm not that kind of person. But the feedback is that you guys want to hear my story, and I was confused for a really long time. So I was just constantly trying to become the authority figure, Not because I want people to validate me, but because I thought it was necessary. I thought it was necessary for me to give value. And I feel inspired this morning because I was reading a book, uh, which is the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And this big book talked about why the talked a lot about the psychology of an alcoholic. And I felt that a lot of the things that it was talking about resonates very strongly with me. Um, because true alcoholics they are alcoholic to the point where it's damaging their lives, or rather addicts. Let's not use the word alcohol, let's call it addicts. Is the point of damaging their lives, and they cause harm, grievous harm, to themselves, to their family, and they make resolutions after resolutions after resolutions after resolutions, and nothing seems to change. Nothing seem to change. All of it comes back down. And the moment something happen, or something don't even need to happen, and there they go, they restart all over again. The alcoholism, the addiction, all of those things. And I reflect back on my life and the connection between all of these things that I'm trying to do: the mountaintop, my Discord server, mental health Asia, zero procrastination. And something clicked in me, and it was that sense of recognition that all of these things are connected somehow. There is a yearning in me to solve a problem, and and I've never been sure what the problem that I was trying to solve is. And at the same time, even now, until now, I cannot completely articulate that problem, but I am aware of the symptoms of that problem. And the symptom is that I am constantly getting hijacked by some unseen force that is getting me to do things that I don't want to be doing. And I really don't know, although I suspect that it's not just me. I can't really say that I'm not the only one. I can't really know for sure. Because all this while, so far, the only clue I have is the stories of addicts. And when I say I have a problem, I don't mean alcohol, I don't mean drugs, but I have a problem. And the problem is that I am not able to be sane 100% of the time. What is sanity? Sanity is, I should Google the definition of sanity later. But for me, sanity means the ability to do what's rational. That's what it means to me, and I am not rational 100% of the time. Just yesterday, after a lengthy 1.5 2 hour conversation with a friend about my need for food, and why I don't like this feeling. Is a very weird feeling when it comes to food. It's like, why is it that here I am, leaky gut, allergic reactions. I know all the things that I'm allergic to, and I have sworn off certain types of food multiple times, multiple times. And I was talking to her about all of my grievances with this pattern of mine. Whenever something happened, whenever I'm happy or I'm sad, there is such a strong compulsion in me that it hijacks me to go and order certain foods, which is terrible, which is not good for me. And I don't even enjoy the process of eating it. I thought I would, but it was like enjoyable for a few bites, and then after that, it goes completely gone. It completely goes away. And then I feel terrible. I start to feel terrible about how the food tastes. I start to feel terrible about what my knowledge of what it's going to be doing on my body, and I start to feel terrible about what's going on in my body, like literally physical manifestation of terribleness. Because I feel itchy after I eat garlic. I feel itchy after I eat certain kinds of food, like bread and things like that. But I can't seem to control myself, and it is a completely illogical thing, and it gets so sickening. It gets so sickening to hear advice. It gets so frustrating and so sickening to hear an authoritative advice or an authoritative voice telling me that Felix, you gotta do this, otherwise this is gonna happen. It is good for you. Doing this is bad for you, but if you solve this, it's gonna be good for you. It is so sickening. And it is sickening because I know all that already, and I know how to overcome that already, but I am not in control. It is a sense of violation that it is like I feel good but I feel terrible at the same time. And so I feel like an addict. In that kind of sense, in that sense of a word, is I feel like an addict. I don't like coffee anymore, but I have to drink coffee in the morning. Otherwise, I can't function. And if I skip coffee for too long, I get migraine. Food, I start to feel terrible. Yesterday after 2 hours of conversation explaining my grievances to a friend, I went to guess what I did? I ordered a Grab to go to the USJ branch of the Penang famous mee goreng, Bangkok Lane mee goreng, which is like my favorite all-time food. It was closed. I arrived there, it was closed. And guess what I did? Instead of grabbing back home, I just hang around there. I walked around. It's like, oh, nothing here is good. I don't feel confident in any of the food over here. I don't feel like eating. But I saw this restaurant. It says nasi lemak menangis, and I'm a sucker for spicy food. So I ordered nasi lemak menangis. And it came. It was terrible nasi lemak. The rice wasn't properly formed. It was like overcooked. The sambal wasn't even spicy at all. What menangis? There was no menangis over there. There was this it's terrible. And I know full well that there is like garlic in sambal, and I ate it anyway. I came back home. This morning, like I came back home, I started to have the itchiness. This morning, 4:30 a.m. until now, I was awake because of the itchiness. I need to wake up a couple times to apply the solutions for my itchiness, and my stomach is feeling that burning sensation right now, even as I'm talking to you, which is indicative of me eating some things which aren't good for me, the inflammation reaction. So all these things are happening. So this is how out of control I am. So this Alcoholic Anonymous book, it resonated a lot with me because of two things. Number one, it talked about the frustrations that alcoholics face when they are faced with labels thrown at them. You just suck it up. You know it's bad for you. Why are you doing it? You know it's bad for you. Why are you doing it? That kind of sensation, that kind of beingness, that kind of prejudice from the society to the alcoholics, to the addicts, to the so-called outcast, right? It's like it's such an easy thing. Just restrain yourself. Just have that willpower. Just have that level. This have a stronger why, Felix. You gotta have a stronger why, right? All of these things are just constantly directed at us, and all addicts share this similar conundrum because they feel the shame enough as it is. They feel the guilt enough as it is. Think of your loved ones. How would they feel? But inside the big book, it literally says that it is a physical condition. It is a disease. It is a sickness. It's a sickness of the body and the mind. And it needs to have a certain kind of approach, which cannot be given by any authority, which is the reason why in treating addictions, both medical and psychological intervention is necessary. You know, certain healthy lifestyles need to be incorporated, um, but it needs to be seen as a sickness rather than a choice. And so it resonates a lot with me. That first reason is like the whole authoritarian regime of people scolding or using forceful words. It's honestly pretty frustrating, and I hear the same from my students who are overcoming procrastinations in any other areas of their lives. They are perfectly sane, but when it comes to one substance, right, it becomes an out of control situation. So the first thing that resonate with me so far in the book is the thing about authoritarian. Like, um, I've had it. I've had it with people telling me all these things which I already know. I've had it with myself, telling myself things which I already know. We know that this completely it doesn't work. For as long as we are you rely on this tactic, it is only gonna constantly having a cycle of relapse, yo-yo, quitting, stopping, coming back again, stopping, coming back again, stopping, coming back again. That is the first thing that resonates with me. And the second thing that resonates with me is the first step of the 12 steps. It is that we have come to an understanding that we are powerless. We are utterly powerless when it comes to the substance that we are addicted to. I think I've seen enough. I think I've seen enough of what is going on in my life to finally let my ego acknowledge that I am powerless when it comes to the substances. I'm not a drug addict, I'm not an alcoholic, but the kind of things that I eat, if it is not substance, then what is it? I know it's not good for me. I don't want to eat it, but if I don't have it, I suffer. What is that if not addiction? It is addiction, plain and simple. So I'm gonna treat it like an addiction, and I'm gonna admit that, look, I am powerless. And so the second step of Alcoholics Anonymous resonates a lot with me because it says that we actually need to rely on a power greater than ourselves. We come to the belief that we rely on that we need to rely on a power. We need to surrender to a power greater than ourselves and allow God to help us. And this speaks to all religions, even atheists, because we can actually craft our own definition of what God is. Some people, some of the stories. I mean, pretty. This has been on my mind quite a lot, over the past few days, and I've been watching certain YouTube videos, and some people say, uh, for some people, the definition of God isn't even that big man in heaven, but um yeah, it's an acronym. God stands for something, but basically we get to choose what our definition of God is. We get to choose, and I think that that's a very empowering thing as well, because those of us who have a problem, we had it with authorities, and religion is nothing but authority. Especially all the pious religious people who constantly go around commenting on my Facebook about how peace be with you, la blah 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 la, may God be with you, can I please pray for you, and all that shit. It is pretty frustrating to hear. It's as though it is pretty condescending, to be honest. It is a form of sickness, and it needs to be treated with a certain kind of way, and more force, more harshness, more authority does not help. And so it clicks with me now why some of you why some of you are so resistant when I am taking the authoritative approach of positioning myself as an expert. I finally realize why. And it clicks now why some of you resonate with me when I'm talking about my problems on air like this, it is because you're not looking for another authority. You're not looking for another expert. You don't need to be told what to do, right? You just need to hear from someone who is like yourself, who is suffering the exact same kind of shit, who is going through the same shit that you are going through. so so here I am, and this is why I'm restarting the vlogs. I think many of you will find a lot more value in me talking about my problems and the kind of things that I do, right? The kind of things that I'm trying out, which may or may not be successful, because ultimately I'm just one of you, right? Yes, I'm a mentor to certain areas of life, in business and whatever. But I think that in front of you guys, I don't think I want to use that kind of stuff. If it doesn't add value to you guys, why should I be doing it, right? And it's just such a forceful thing to be doing, to forcibly come up with topics and tell you guys about how to this and how to that, when in fact all you need to hear is just what I'm going through. And maybe we can do something like this, and maybe we can I don't know, have a I'm not sure if it is too early to say, have a culture where we actually share problems, just like people who are in Alcoholics Anonymous. And the solution is not really necessarily need to come from anything external. You just need to talk about it. And perhaps by doing this, I will also solve my problem as well. And that's all. I'm gonna change the theme. I'm gonna change a lot of things about my streams. But one thing's for sure, I'm gonna start it back again. And as and when I feel like it, I will document it by doing random unannounced Facebook Live such as this. Maybe I will announce. I don't know. Um, but all I know for sure is I feel good doing this. That's all I know for sure. I feel good doing this. I feel good sharing. And if you feel good listening, you can listen as well. Otherwise, no worries. And with that being said, I'm done for the day. All right, I'm done for the day. I'm gonna go for my call now. Hope you guys resonate something with some of the things that I shared today. And I'll see you very soon.